This is a Republican primary. This is back in the past.
Building a database, which is easy. It's a simple inventory system using available government buildings, so we don't need to spend money. Just retrofit some of them, so that we have very low barrier shelters that then it would be legal for law enforcement to go in and push them into those shelters. We treat dogs and cats better in Portland. If you've seen the facility on Columbia Boulevard, it's like the Taj Mahal compared to what the homeless are living in.
So Portland, Oregon has a Taj Mahal for all the dogs and cats, but they don't have any good place. There's that lawsuit that says you can't push the homeless anywhere unless you got a place for them to go to. You got a shelter, you got a housing, transitional housing. If you can't, you want me to go on down the line? Just go on down the line. Just why don't you all get them out of here? No, you got to tell me where. You got to have a place to go. So you can't just scoop people off the sidewalk anymore. They're living in a public place. They don't have any other place to go. You don't like to see the blight, but why don't you give a heart? And if you get a heart, then maybe get them some housing, huh? Now, they're only talking about 3 candidates in the election for governor in Oregon. They're saying it's going to be a woman, because you got Betsy Johnson, the independent, you got Christine Drazin, the Republican, you got Tina Kotek. But what about our Leon Noble? What about our Leon Noble? They're talking about how Johnson, Drazin, and Kotek have led the field in fundraising and media coverage and this and that and what the hell over. You have 4, maybe a 3-way race here, and they're saying that it's going to be a plurality. So you're not even going to get a majority victor. You need ranked choice voting in Oregon. You're not even going to get a majority victor. Somebody's going to get 30% of the vote, which means they represent 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3 people is not a majority. That's not consent of the governed. But with that 33%, if that's bigger than all the other numbers, they'll take that into Salem, Oregon, and say, well, I'm the governor now, and I get to spend all this money and pass all these laws in your name, even though the majority of the people did not vote. They don't have democratic legitimacy. You need ranked choice voting. Now, here's a letter to the editor. I'm writing to thank you for hosting the first gubernatorial debate of this campaign season. Last Friday, I was watching the debate you hosted, and I noticed something, or rather someone was missing. Of the multiple candidates running for governor of Oregon, only 3 of them were invited to attend. A duly elected Libertarian candidate, R. Leon Noble, had been excluded, and I'd like to know why. Mr. R. Leon Noble earned the nomination of the Libertarian Party of Oregon during their primary election held last June. Unlike other minor parties, Libertarians do not need to spend millions of dollars on a primary campaign to ensure ballot access. Here is some more of these questions. We're going to finish this.
So-called housing, we call it the homeless industrial complex, all the government jobs that have been created, the billions of dollars being spent in grants to these nonprofits to recycle these people. That has to be reallocated for treatment. We're number 2 in the country in substance abuse per capita.
Daggone, Oregon's also number 49th when it comes to graduation rates. How come people in Oregon, it's such a progressive state, that they don't need public education? Is that what it is? They've grown above and beyond public. They realize that there's no freedom or democracy, and it's actually... So let's carry... Was R. Leon Noble excluded because he wasn't a woman? R. Leon Noble, the Libertarian, wasn't part of the debate. Oh, I got your attention now. You want a woman governor, right? So you're not going to let R. Leon Noble go to the damn debate. Was he excluded because of his pay-to-play politics? Well, he didn't grease the palms. He hasn't raised millions of dollars yet in the coffers on the ONPA stage. Furthermore, Miss Johnson is still in the process of collecting signatures in order to appear on the ballot in November. So you don't even know Betsy Johnson has enough signatures. As mentioned above, Mr. Noble has no such hurdle to overcome. He's already a candidate. He's got more legitimacy than Betsy Johnson. Could it be in this age of political correctness, white privilege, and toxic masculinity that the ONPA doesn't want to hear from a white man? Are you trying to silence candidates who haven't paid their way into the governor's race? Or is it Mr. Noble's ideas that you're afraid of? Are you concerned that the people of Oregon might hear a message that disturbs the status quo? Most Oregonians can agree that neither Mrs. Kotek, Miss Drazin, nor Miss Johnson represent them. Why can't those disenfranchised voters hear from a candidate who will? I don't know about you, but the platform of safety and security, liberty and equality in the economy sounds to me just like what Oregon needs to hear right now. If you'd like to learn more about the Libertarian candidate for Governor R. Leon Noble, please visit his website, setoregonfree.com. Or better yet, give him the opportunity to reach the voters of Oregon that was previously denied him and invite him to the debate that was planned for October this year. Thank you for your time and consideration. Charlene Cox, Legacy Media Director for Set Oregon Free, Roseburg, Oregon. So, okay, shit. Let this Leon speak, okay. You know, when you deprive one person of speaking, you're depriving the people of hearing possibly a good idea. Who is this R. Leon Noble? My God, we have got to find out who this R. Leon Noble is. It's like Duluth, Minnesota. He's a person of untold delights. It's bounds for Oregon. He says, all right. Is this him?
One of the things is that they've been importing homeless here into Oregon from all kinds of states. And I think the first thing we're going to have to do is actually identify those and send them back and let their governor know they get to pay for that trip back. The next step is very simply to interview these people. We have, whether it's...
That is not our Leon Noble, but pay attention to what he's saying.
Sometimes it's just job. Can't actually... I've met an entire family. Both parents work, but they can't afford housing. 4 months of housing rent to get into a place isn't part of their what they could do. Now the next thing is that with that, I just lost my train of thought. With the homeless, I was told by a homeless person, you know, the way to fix this, we actually have a good program for homeless to get them off the streets and everything. Problem was, he said, is you need to e-verify. He said we have so many illegal immigrants in this system, it jams it up. It took him 5 years to get on the program. When I met him, he'd been in the house for 2 weeks. He said,
so interesting. He takes a hard line, right? What states are importing homeless? That's crazy. I think states get rid of their homeless, push them down the line. Well, you came from Montana, and then where are you going to put them? Helena? Just drop them downtown Helena? And how are you going to get them to get on the bus? You're going to arrest them and make them go? And then deport one American to a different American state? But R. Leon Noble, Mr. Noble Leon R. is coming up, okay? R. Leon, not only rampant sanity, wixsite.com, Noble for Oregon. He says this, okay? Just to give you a little flavor, a little bit. He's coming up next, okay? I'm not lying. This is, I swear. R. Leon Noble. He says there is only one statewide elected public servant that represents all of Oregon all the time. The role of fulcrum. The role of fulcrum. That's what the governor is supposed to be in Oregon, between the counties, districts, parties, cities, the people, and the legislature. The office of the governor is supposed to be a fulcrum between all those different entities. And that role of fulcrum has been abused for decades. Oregon is out of balance. I'm not asking for your vote. I'm asking for your help. Lend me your voice, and together we will set Oregon free. R. Leon Noble. R. Leon Noble. Here we go.
This is not the state's job. 100%, we should not be allocating any funds to homeless. The problem here is that nobody's bothering to talk to the homeless to find out what's going on. If we talk to the homeless, like I've done in the recent month, we find out that they don't want our help in the first place. A small majority want to just live life and not have to be tied down by anything. They don't want to be shoved into an internment camp or a gulag or whatever. And Mr. Romero, for a constitutionalist, you just created a class of people that is unconstitutional from our state constitution.
I had a minute.
But you just made an unconstitutional statement. What you want to do is unconstitutional. So I'm calling you on the carpet for that. We can't do this. We can't tell the homeless that they have to go somewhere. It doesn't work. We need to leave them alone and offer them philanthropically, not through the government, help.
So we have Nick next and then Bill.
So he called the guy on the carpet, but the guy was like, I only had a minute to answer. What the hell am I supposed to do? I had 1 minute to answer. And he was like, he wasn't pissed off about it. Okay, I hear your criticism. You say it's not constitutional. And you have R. Leon Noble. R. Leon Noble, huh? My solution to homelessness is to build homes. it's a federal issue, so maybe we got to put the federal government here because it's all over the place. And when you have all these other states and all these different homelessness policies, overall, America has 500,000 homeless people. That is very much a situation that we can solve. That's something we could do. I mean, we have to wait for Meghan Markle to become president before we take care of our goddamn homeless. And if America takes care of their homeless, then that takes the burden away from the cities and the towns and the states. So our Leon Noble, I don't think you do deserve a microphone. I did not need to hear those ideas. Those ideas hurt my ears. Did you hear how he said he's been talking to homeless people for the last month? I've been talking to people for the last month. The guy that comes up right afterwards is like, you've been talking to a lot of different homeless people than I have. Maybe one person told this guy just to leave him alone. Hey, man, I don't need any of your freaking help. What the hell are you going to do with your Stetson hat? You ain't going to do nothing with your Stetson hat. What, just throw a shoe at somebody? Honestly, who throws a shoe? Who wears a Stetson hat? It goes on to the next guy, and he's just like, you talk to different homeless than I have. So, yeah, to hell with our Leon Noble. I mean, is he a part of the thing? Is he not a part of the thing? Who gives a shit? He shouldn't be fucking elected because there's a court case right now in Oregon that they're saying that you can't send somebody down the line without having someplace to send them to. So you see a tent on a sidewalk and you're like, oh, I hate this. This is ugly. It's, look at all the blight and it's ugly. Motherfucker, that person don't live anywhere. They live on a fucking sidewalk, motherfucker. So why don't you goddamn... They don't, want to live there. And so you're going to push them on down the line. Where are they going to go? They got to go somewhere. And so that's what that court case says. If you're going to push homeless people on down the line, you got to make sure they got a destination. They got housing. That's the best thing. Housing first is the best way to go. Get them housing first. Get them an apartment. How many people have succeeded because your parents loved you and cared about you and provided you a household where you had your food, clothing, water, shelter, warmth, all your basic Maslow's hierarchy of needs met. You were a socialist, taking a UBI check, taking a handout. You didn't succeed by being on the street and pulling yourself up from your bootstraps. You had all the water, and you had all the food, and you had all the safety and the warmth that you needed, and then you went out and conquered the world. So don't act like you went without warmth. You went without food and water. How long did you go without food and water? 20 years. You didn't have any food or water, huh? Yeah, ever since you was a baby, you was there hustling, huh? Ever since you was a baby, you got a minimum wage job at McDonald's just to help the family out. Ever since you was a baby, I'm sure, right? Selling drugs on the damn corner just to help mama pay the damn bills. I know. So, fuck. Our Leon Noble, I Googled you. I searched for you, and what a freaking disappointment, man. It's like, never mind. Everybody deserves to be heard, except for that guy.
I've visited at least 19 different shelters across the state and heard about their programs and talked with people and discussed, what they need in their lives to make an impact. There are things that we need to do, like upgrade HMIS. We have a 40-year-old database system that manages all of this.